I vibe you, lovelies. This is Love. So, wow, it's just been such an amazing, epic journey over the last few days. So one of the things that first and foremost wanted to step back into is something that I vibe maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and just haven't obviously recorded since then. That I was been sharing the concept of becoming the energy, versus, or becoming the energy, and the concept of the choice between becoming an energy and simply a reflection of the energy. So one thing I wanted to vibe into vibe into deeper, and I wanted to share was that, and one thing, you see the garden is just so beautiful, so huge and thick, and I haven't been thinning it as much, but I'm definitely just loving how luscious it is. So anyway, the concept of becoming the energy, and the choice of simply reflecting energy. One thing I wanted to vibe into, the deeper vibe or the faster vibration of that, is realize it's not a choice of, for me, it's no longer a choice of, the choice is now. One thing I'm going to be using more affirmative, positive, moving towards energy. This is something I've vibed in. I vibe quite a bit and do more or less. So I'm at the point where I'm vibing more into that. So for me, the choice is currently honoring that we are already the energy. So the concept of becoming feels like energy invading your system and taking over, and you become this energy. What I'm realizing now, the energy is within us already. We have obviously have different vibrations, some faster, slower. So the concept that these slower vibrations are already within us, we share that, and then it reflects back. So it's not really a choice of reflecting. It's more of a choice of what energy we reflect. Is the energy strictly the slower vibration? Is the energy balanced? Or is the energy strictly a higher vibration? And of course, I'm vibing into the balance component, though I see benefits in all of them. That's one of the biggest things that I was just really vibing into. Oh my gosh, yes, 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, where I had this beautiful opportunity to hear this. They call it samurai hi-fi hip-hop, and it just had this exquisite, really light flute right next to this really deep bass, and I just kept thinking, it was like, wow, this is just the energy that I love. It's just this fast or light and heavy energy just right next to each other, so you can really vibe the contrast. And I, of course, vibed how that's all of life, and being able to appreciate both and see how they actually enhance and contrast each other. And that's why we can really appreciate the light, because we experience the deep. And so it's just really vibing into that and seeing that. For me, that of course is great in reference to balance, and when also experience either, just seeing it as that, just great opportunity, to enjoy this, and know that I also have a choice of raising the speed, or speeding up the speed, or slowing the speed. So one thing I just wanted to really vibe into is that I'm stepping up, beyond this concept of some energy invading my system. So just honoring that it's already there, and I have the choice of whether I share it and have it reflected back. So first and foremost, so in regards to just the amazingness of the last few days, wow. And this is extension of what I was just sharing, in that the energy in the house is so amazingly different and just absolutely exquisite, where really it was and it literally was 2 days after where I was really vibing into it, that really happened and noticed it. So exquisitely amazing, where another sister came in, and we really connected and shared a lot of openness, and she ended up leaving. She was only staying for a few days. We ended up doing a party, and everyone came together for this party. Yes, I was the one who organized and thought about it, and overall managed it. It still was just absolutely exquisite to see everyone coming together, and all of the relationships between particularly the guys and myself as individuals and collective just has been so enhanced. So it's just so amazing to see the change and know that it was as much due to the physical experience as it was my energy. It was like definitely an affirmation of my energy speeding up and the opening of my heart. So it was just absolutely exquisite. Of course, there was a couple of different experiences were reflections of the slower vibrations that I had shared before, which I kind of took note of and laughed and said, okay, great. So let's see. And even just in that experience and sharing with others, I was saying that certain experiences, certain vibrations I could see were one place removed from me, and so it was really fun. Actually, the same kind of topic is coming up now. It's for the third time. Someone else reached out to me in a similar topic as what people have been sharing, which has been one place removed. So it's just really amazing. Oh, one thing. Oh, I actually did call my mom. That's another thing. Which one? I just so love how it just was such a reminder. Don't judge. Don't assume. Stay open. And also at the same time, just being realistic too. So I ended up having a great conversation with my mom, but it was, my mom was my mom, and so it was certain things that I just noticed, and it was like fun and saying, okay, this is who she is. The one thing, it was a great conversation. It was almost like no time had passed, nothing in the past had happened, which is definitely my mom's vibe. It's one thing that I know I get from her, and I'm actually super appreciative of. Anyone who knows me knows, even no matter what has happened in the past, if you reach out to me and communicate, generally I will communicate with you as if nothing has happened in the past, though I may bring certain things up or the vibe will just be like, yeah, whatever that was that thing, and that was at that time. So I love that my mom, we just talked as if nothing had happened in the past, and we had had talked over the last 7 years. At the same time, like I said, my mom is my mom, and there was no real deep emotional connection. So it's something that I was just vibing into, whether I will continue to communicate with her. No, I'm open. Just knowing that that's not the communications that I am now doing are definitely, and I actually had an amazing experience with that yesterday, where I actively noticed the type of communication or sharing that I was having. So one thing that I am focusing on with my communication is, one, positive, moving towards type of vibration, since the subconscious doesn't actually know the word no or any negative. It's just like a child. Like I always say, I'm just giving the example that a child, if you put an ice cream in front of them and say, no, you can't have it, the child is not hearing that no. They're not even thinking about it. Oh, aware of it. So it's kind of the same way with the subconscious. So that's one thing that I am definitely vibing into. Obviously, being responsible, sharing emotionally, asking questions. That's definitely, and definitely asking questions instead of judging and shutting down and saying no, and just getting a vibe and a sense of why someone is saying what they're saying, instead of saying no, or I don't agree with that, or this is what my vibe is. So that's something I'm definitely vibing into. So with the communication, and also, emotional connection, like actually communicating about stuff that relates to either party directly. And like I said, I had a really amazing connection and communication with that. And of course, just focusing on how whatever someone is sharing with me, knowing it's a reflection, and it's, if I'm asking certain questions or vibing certain things, the answer is present somewhere in the communication and conversation. And so that's definitely been an amazing experience. So once again, with my communication with my mom, it wasn't vibing on that level. So it's like, okay, that's one thing, and she was saying, and still vibing when I was saying, as far as making that choice, whether continuing to communicate, and how much to communicate with people who, our shared vibration is not at that level. So yeah. So let's see. So basically, what I really vibed in is in regards to my connection, sharing with individuals, I feel really good. Like my heart is really open in that space. Now there's a situation where I'm noticing that in regards to vibing with a group or a company or a corporation or say a tribe or a village, or a government. I'm noticing that my energy, my vibration is not as open. Or in fact, there's opportunity for more openness in regards to that. In particular, I'm noticing in particular if there's somehow the connection is in relation to money, which of course I just was vibing into how in my life money and relationships have been very tied, which I of course realized where that is in part coming from. I'm still vibing into it, where money was the thing that was used to, I guess, to pacify my brother and I when a lot of the different things were going on with our family, including like my mom leaving and things like that, as well as it felt like people were choosing money instead of spending time with us, and or people's underlying agendas for connecting with us was money. So I definitely know that all of that is a part to do with the connection that I feel with money. And then of course there's a part of me just is like, I want people to prove that they love me. I guess in a sense because that's what happened. People to prove that they love me or care or help me with money. So there's all of those different components in which I'm vibing into. And of course, the concept of just continuing to vibe into it so I can learn or remember a different way of connecting with both people and money. So, and which is in regards to, I guess, another piece of what I'm vibing is, I have actually two opportunities. One that actually I just got some word is actually going to be moving forward, which I'm actually interestingly tickled and intrigued and actually kind of excited, which is just like I'm laughing at myself for that, which is great. It's just absolutely great, but it's also like interesting. So I have a couple of lawsuits, or not even cases, matter of fact would be the proper description, in regards to some discrimination that has happened since I've been here in California, specifically in regards to race as well as mask wearing. One is actually being handled by EEOC, which is the Equal Opportunity Commission. They already taken the case on. It's already, an active thing. I just actually got the rebuttal. So the first step of the actual litigating of the case, I just got that today, which is the company's rebuttal. And it was interesting because I was just like, okay, this is cool. I'm happy it's moving forward. I was like, oh, okay, so I actually might, reach out to some legal, some people who are actually in the legal industry and get their kind of vibe, maybe some suggestions. But at the same time, I was like, all right, I also feel fully comfortable and confident with just providing my response back. And I was kind of like noticing, I'm like, well, I know that this company is one of the hugest companies in the world. And I mean literally one of the hugest companies in the world. So I was like, I know they got a hugely high-powered, high-paid attorney law firm handling their case for them. So I was like, it's nice that I feel comfortable, that I feel like I could go into court, not only into court, but actually respond and then go into whatever legal settings and actually go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with their attorneys and feel like, I'm pretty confident that I could actually handle my own. So I'm actually pretty intrigued by that. I love the concept that I am interested in potentially connecting with legal assistants to get their vibe and any information, suggestions they have. At the same time, if I don't end up doing that, I still feel 100% confident. Like, yeah, I could handle this. I could do what's necessary. So I'm really loving that. So, which is interesting because, of course, I think this was part of the concept of really feeling empowered and really appreciating myself and my capabilities. So I'm kind of intrigued that, of course, it's a mental place. I'm totally noticing that. So I still honor that there are different areas and ways in which I'll be doing this. At the same time, there's also another situation, which is actually, okay, so that's the mental space. The other situation is more of an emotional situation where there's still a lot of, like, in that first situation, there's not a lot of emotional, at this point, it's not a lot of emotional reaction or whatever, which is why I'm just like open and tickled and intrigued. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, great. Da, 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 da. There is another situation similar. Companies not quite, corporations not quite as large, but there's still an emotional connection to it. So I'm also enjoying, intrigued, and vibing into the opportunity to open up emotionally and handle the secondary situation as much from a potential mental as much as an open space, and see the opportunity in regards to the my emotional expansion and evolution, as well as mental and potentially financial also. So yeah, so anyway, I guess in saying that, I'm realizing I may or may not be sharing a whole lot of videos from here on out, because I'm realizing that potentially moving into a space of becoming an attorney, which for me is interesting because I was laughing. I don't know if those of you who know me know that when I was in high school, they used to call me the litigator. Like, that was my nickname. And people were like, oh, you should be an attorney, you're really great, da 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 da. And so I know that I have the capability of analyzing and piecing together and expressing things in a way that would be that are really helpful for attorneys. But I always was kind of hesitant on, like, I'm not really into all the reading, I'm not into all the writing, and so now I was just laughing. I was like, well, I might be taking myself on a little crash course on grammar first and foremost, and then also writing legal standard or court standard documents. So it'd be kind of fun, and I'm actually like laughing and enjoying the possibility of like learning that, and also of course then doing a lot of research on would of course require a lot of research, or it's possible that I would end up doing a lot of research to handle the case. So that of course might take a lot of time, and since I still of course want to maintain my meditation and my exercise and my dance yoga and spending time in nature and connecting with those who are present, and then of course having the other side of this whole other situation to deal with at the same time, I'm realizing that my time might be very full. So I have to be taking in consideration that. So now I definitely foresee that and when major things shift and happen, sharing that, but definitely that might be quite shorter and quite a bit less that I share, which is actually, hey, I think it's a great thing. I'm actually saying, hey, quality is a great thing. So anyway, that is where I am currently vibing. There's been so much more that I guess in regards to the the compliments, y'all saw that. Like, that was a huge part of just really saying really honoring, which I have been doing. Oh my gosh, just really appreciating, just embracing my physical beauty, sensuality, like all of those different things has been like another major thing after I wrote or co-created that saying on that question on that picture. Let's see, any other vibes in regards to, other than just being really aware, present with my communication. So anyway, love y'all, thank y'all for being y'all, and it's at 19 minutes, which I know is a long video, so we'll do 19. Love y'all, thank y'all for being y'all, and bliss.